Good afternoon, everyone. I am Marjorie Fortaleza, a Bethlehem 3A student. Okay, stand up for the prayer. The Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, let's check first the attendance. Okay, nobody's absent. Very good. Before we move on to our next topic, let's have first a short recap. So, anyone here can give me a short recap for our lesson yesterday? Anyone? Okay, yes? Okay, very good. Okay, our lesson yesterday was all about the accurate measurement of the body. Okay, for today's lesson, we will tackle about the parts of sewing machine. Okay, let me present to you the learning objectives for this discussion. At the end of the discussion, students will be able to identify different parts of sewing machine and its function. Next is perform sewing using the sewing machine. These are the different parts of sewing machine: spool pin, bobbin binder spindle, bobbin winder stopper, stitch width dial, pattern selector dial, hand wheel, stitch length dial, reverse stitch lever, power switch, bobbin winder thread guide, thread tension dial, thread take-up lever, needle clamp screw, presser foot, bobbin cover release button, feed dog, needle, and needle plate. Okay, students, here's the function of the sewing machine. The part of the sewing machine. Okay, first function, parts of the sewing machine is the spool pin. The main function of the spool pin is to hold the spool of thread. Okay, next is the bobbin winder spindle. Okay, during the winding, the bobbin is placed here in the bobbin winder spindle. Bobbin winder stopper. When the bobbin reaches its optimum capacity, then the bobbin winder stopper stops the bobbin winding. Next is the stitch width dial. The main objectives of the stitch width dial is to control the zigzag stitch. Okay, next is the pattern selector dial. So, can you please read the paragraph? Okay, thank you. The pattern selector dial is to set the symbol of the desired stitch pattern. So, next is the hand wheel. The hand wheel is used to raise and lower the needle, which is situated in the right side of the sewing machine. Okay, the reverse stitch lever. So, can someone read this paragraph? Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Okay, very good. So, the machine will sew in the reverse while the lever is pushed. Stitch length dial. The stitch length dial is used to control the length of the stitch. Okay, next is the power switch. Okay, please read the paragraph. Mercy. Okay, thank you. Very good. The bobbin winder thread guide. So, this type of thread guides are used during the bobbin winding. The thread tension dial. The thread tension dial is used to control the tension at the top of the thread. Next is the thread take-up lever. During the sewing, the top thread passes through the thread take-up lever. It moves up and down with the needle. Students, we're now in the second to the last parts of the sewing machine. So here's the needle clamp screw. So the needle clamp screw holds the needle in its actual place. So finally, students, we're now in the last parts of the sewing machine, which is the presser's foot. Okay, please read the definition of the presser's foot. Okay, thank you, very good. So the presser's foot holds the fabric in its definite place. Okay, for further learnings about the different parts of the sewing machine, you can watch this short video.
Knowing the anatomy of your sewing machine can help you diagnose problems and also make you sound more knowledgeable when you're sewing. To just run down to the basic parts of your sewing machine as you work with it. First and foremost, we have over here the bobbin, an upper lift-off kind of version, and then inside is the bobbin case, and of course the bobbin. You have your presser foot and your needle, which is also an option for a needle plate, and then you have the this one has an automatic threader, which is over here. You have your cutter on the side. Over here you have your stitch guide, your stitch selector, and the speed of the stitch speed option. My machine has a little fancy scissors icon, which means that it will cut the thread, a needle down position, and then of course the reverse stitching option. We'll go up top now, where over here we have the bobbin winder, and when you need to use a double needle, you'll put this spool in place, which will be for the second spool of thread that you would use. This is the tension lever for the bobbin winder, and then you have your thread path. So you go through some little clips here, and down through the tension discs, up through the uptake lever, which is the little arm that you'll see moving right here, and then down, of course, into the needle. You have your tension selector right here. And in general, those are the basic parts of any sewing machine. I don't know if I told you, the throat plate is over here as well as the feed dogs. So that's down on the bottom. You might have skipped that one, but we'll come back in because it's important. That's the throat plate with the feed dogs. Now, you always want to make sure you look at your operation manual, because it will have a guide on there just in case yours has any special parts to the machine that you're not aware of. And anything maybe I didn't cover. But that's the basic anatomy of your sewing machine. So now when you talk about sewing, all your friends will be impressed. I hope that you've enjoyed learning about it. I've enjoyed teaching.
Okay, that's the end of the video, and that was all about the basic parts of the sewing machine. Okay, did you understand about the video? Okay, very good. Okay, is there any clarification, queries? Okay, tell me. Okay, none? Very good. So, since you already understand our topic, I will give you a very short quiz. Okay, get one first sheet of paper. Okay, and answer these following questions. Okay, please answer these questions. Time is up. Please pass your paper. 1. Okay, that's all for today's discussion. For tomorrow, please bring a fabric, and any kind of fabric will do, and any size, for we are going to have a hands-on activity for sewing. Clear? Okay, that's all for today's discussion, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye, class!